Yesterday, I was talking to my little admin. I say my little because she's like 700 years younger than me. But I was talking to my admin, Emma, who's amazing. Shout out Emma Straub. And I said, Emma, this camera hasn't worked on this computer since I've gotten it. On every Zoom, I have to go to my phone. It drives me crazy. She literally walks over to my computer to the top of the screen and pushes some little button.
And it worked. Is it a laptop?
It's a laptop. Yeah. Did you know about that button at the top of the screen?
You know what I do now, because I said the same thing, and Ryan Harden had to come and say, well, you know why the camera doesn't work? Because you don't have one. That's why you don't have one on your desktop. You got to use your phone or your laptop.
What a revelation.
That's why we gave you a laptop, so that we don't have to do all this.
What a revelation.
And then Emma I go, Emma, this is the first time that I've seen myself on this camera. And she just looks at me, she goes, come on. I'm like, no.
Jennifer, when we were Zooming, the whole time we were Zooming, you were doing this. When we were having Zoom staff meeting, you were always like...
She's like a bird, just her in the corner. She's like looking at herself.
Your hair. I'm like, well, when you have good hair like that, you can do that.
Yeah, but that's why they don't put mirrors for birds, because they get too distracted by their reflection. Jennifer's the same.
My team would count how many times I touched my hair. They'd be like, Jennifer,
look at her.
I'm like, I cannot. I don't know why.
I mean, the Zoom mirrors were funny because also people are like half the time in their cars, and they eventually had to make a rule you can't be in your car.
They're driving.
You gotta be somewhere.
Everyone trying to talk doesn't know how to not mute themselves, but everyone who's in a car driving, they don't mute themselves.
Listen, I wasn't paying attention to any of the content. I was looking at everybody's backgrounds. I was watching Jennifer flip her hair and kind of...
I'm fluffing, I'm twirling. Yeah. But I think I've shared this on the podcast, but the hardest I laughed was when one of our staff members was going through the food drive-thru on the Zoom call.
That's funny.
And they don't have their speaker on. And Kirby goes, and I'm not going to call their name out. Let's say Doug. Doug, are you in a drive-thru?
I don't think that's safe, Doug.
Guys, just to reiterate, do not be going through a food drive-thru in the middle of our staff meeting. Well, anyway, just like this podcast, we got to move on.
So you want to get started?
Let's get started.
Hello, and welcome to the Almost Amazing podcast from the CityRise Network. Hosted by Jennifer Dennis and produced by me, Justin Campbell. We're a podcast that was supposed to be focused on parenting, but we've kind of lost the plot along the way. Honestly, we don't know what this podcast is about, but we talk to incredible people who love Jesus, and our hope is to provide encouragement and fun whenever possible. If our lack of clear direction bothers you, we apologize, but no one is making you listen to this podcast, unless you're married to Jennifer. Andy, thanks for listening.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Almost Amazing podcast. We're excited to have you today. I think you're going to enjoy the show. I think you're going to have some good laughs, encouragement, inspiration. We have a fabulous guest today. Please welcome Kristen Campell.
Hooray!
Kristen! As you guys know, Kristen Campell is the CityRise Women's Director.
There you go.
And as you may not know, every outfit Kristen wears, I wish I would have worn or knew about. Kristen is my favorite dresser.
Wow.
Well, thank you. That's awesome.
I know. Don't I attack you all the time? Like,
Where'd
I love
you get that?
I love this.
Yes.
And then Kristen's always like, look, I got this at a boutique in Florida. It's like $12.
One of a kind.
It was like $8 on sale. Or she'll be like, oh, I got this. And it's always like,
Target.
It's never, is it sometimes
Walmart.
Target?
Yes.
Walmart has really great stuff lately.
This dress is from Walmart.
Yes. That is beautiful. Wow. What has happened to Walmart?
They had a glow up.
They got their act together.
Great. So we're not going to talk about her clothing the entire episode.
Right. I do want to say it was funny, just behind the curtain. We had a couple of restarts just now, and it reminded me of, there's an Office episode where Pam gets a phone call and she transfers it to Michael, but she doesn't actually transfer it. And he says something really ridiculous and offensive. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry, Michael. It's still me. And then she'll transfer him again and he'll do it. He'll just do a regular hello. She's like, sometimes I give Michael like a practice before I
It's so true.
We all need it.
We do all need it. So Kristen's come on to the show today in our new format where we're just hanging out like we're at lunch.
We do want to check in though.
But we do want to check in.
This is going to air after Easter, but let's just be real. This is the week before Easter. We're all Easter mode all the time. I think you came in covered in Easter bunny fuzz and eggs.
Yes.
because you were taking
Plastic
a break
eggs.
from like setting up the Easter egg hunt.
Right.
So like, how are you?
Oh, do you mean right now?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
like,
I did
how
have a little
are you?
fuzz on me.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to check in. Okay,
Okay.
sure. Yes. You're exactly right. We are knee deep in Easter planning for the Easter egg hunt for Easter Sunday.
Mhm.
That is everything like on our brain.
Yeah. How would you explain to somebody who doesn't work at church?
Christmas is like an entire season for the entire, I believe, almost the entire United States. It's
Right.
very, very big for everyone. So
Right.
everyone takes breaks. Everyone is on theme for Christmas. Easter, I think, and Kristen, you may have a different opinion of this. Easter is so powerful because it is the crux of our faith. It is the core of Jesus raises again. He died on the cross. He's raised again. And that's our central belief.
Sure.
And so it's much more meaningful.
It's Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
It is the
At our
super,
church.
that's the perfect way to put it. The Super
Yeah.
Bowl Sunday. And I mean, everyone comes to church on Easter.
Yeah.
It's packed, all of our services, and everybody has on beautiful dresses and their families. It's just such an amazing day to celebrate the goodness and the restoration that God provides.
But it's for the staff. We work hard.
We work hard. It's not like a holiday. Like even, Good Friday, a lot of people are off.
Yeah.
We're working, getting everything ready.
Making balloon arches.
Arches.
Yeah.
And so we're working on being reflective and spending time excited about the gospel. And at the same time,
how would you
prepared.
rank the prep compared to VBS? Is this more complicated and all-consuming or less complicated and all-consuming than VBS?
That's a great, Kristen
I
was
can
the,
answer
Kristen can
Before
answer
Jennifer's
this.
time to do this?
Kristen was
Tell
the
me.
VBS person
I was
for
for
years.
years.
Oh, wow.
VBS is a marathon.
Okay.
This is
exactly.
it's a marathon of Sundays.
Right.
For 5 days.
Right.
And this is just one day.
Yeah. That's
This
fair.
is a sprint.
That's fair.
a very intense sprint.
Yeah,
because we're starting today making the balloon arches and putting everything together. VBS is weeks and weeks and weeks of
Yeah.
meeting,
Prep and-
prep,
Okay.
prayer.
Got
It's a different animal. But we expect to over 1,000 people in the park. It's this incredible way to reach
Yeah.
families and invite them
Oh
for
yeah,
Easter
it's
Sunday.
amazing.
So when you wake up the day after Easter, Jennifer, is it immediately like VBS time? Like, is it like that
Pretty much.
you don't have a breath?
Yes,
It's
the
like,
the Sunday after
Yeah.
Easter Sunday, we have our volunteer kickoff.
oh, wow.
Kristen's leading our hospitality room,
Which is perfect for her.
which, by the
She's
way,
great
is
at it.
perfect for
The
her.
teacher's lounge. Yes, I
Mhm.
love it.
Well, you
They-
invented this. It didn't
Yes,
exist.
yeah.
It was like
it's
a
incredible.
come get a treat
Yeah.
and go back to your. But she's turned it into. Tell us a little bit about it, Kristen.
Well, I have women. I send out an email and invite people to bring things. People who can't volunteer. This
Right.
is a great way for them to volunteer. They can make cookies. They can bring popcorn, fruit. All the things to make our teachers have a better week.
Yep.
So, and I think the students like it more than anyone.
Yep.
The student
They love
volunteers.
it.
Mhm.
Yes.
Maybe more than they
Sometimes
should.
you
Well,
gotta
I
kick them out.
actually enjoy. I really enjoy visiting with them,
Yeah.
and I enjoy visiting
Right.
with the team. It's a great way for me to have face time with the
Sometimes
teachers.
Kristen has to pull. Some people bring some things that are so popular.
Oh.
It is like a piece of bread on a Pelican Beach.
Oh, okay.
It is
Yes.
like
Gone.
gone.
Yeah.
So she's like trying to pull some pieces back
Yeah.
so the next group can
I
have a
know.
little bit.
Yeah.
Kelly Hayes is salsa.
Yes,
It's gone.
Every year.
I don't even know how she gets into the room. It's gone so fast. But all of that to say, you're welcome to be part of that, of bringing delicious food.
Yeah.
And you're
Mhm.
also welcome to volunteer in any capacity.
Sure. That's
It's
great.
a great week.
It is.
So
It's fun.
if you don't know anyone, this is
Mhm.
the thing. If you don't know anyone and you work in VBS for a week, you will build relationships. You will connect with people and you will feel more belonging.
Well, that's
Right.
how I got it. That was my pipeline into the church. Someone invited me to volunteer.
That was my
Wow.
pipeline into
I was
this
an open
job.
door, and
Okay.
someone invited me to volunteer at VBS, and I could bring my kids, and
Wow.
it was. I always say it's the best week because we're sharing the gospel. You're building community. I mean, it's like no other.
Yeah, and it's neat. It's tough because Missouri State's further out, so they have their own, which is awesome, and they do English version, Spanish version. It's great. But for our interloop campuses, which are kind of like sister campuses because we're so close, it's like one of the big things we do together And so you see both of the Interloop campuses serving. You get to meet people that maybe you wouldn't see on a Sunday because you go to a different campus. So I like that aspect of it, that there's a collaboration between our two Interloop campuses. Of course, we love Missouri City, but they're further out and they do their own thing, and we're proud of them. But this Interloop sisterhood of these two campuses so close together, VBS is like one of the only things, in the Easter egg hunt that really takes volunteers from both campuses that we can spend time serving together. It's cool.
That's true. So yes, please sign up. And that's what
the young moms that I volunteered with, I'm still friends with those moms.
Oh, wow.
So let me encourage, if you're a young mom and you don't, you're not really sure, if you volunteer, your kids can come.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Even if they're under the age of 5.
Pre-K, yeah,
so if you're volunteering, they can come. And it's a great way to find community.
Yeah.
Amen. Well, Justin, what's going on with you?
I have just discovered something that I want to ask you especially, but also Kristen. I've discovered a new podcast that you have to have heard already. Amy Poehler has a new podcast. Have you listened to it yet?
Yes, I've seen pieces and parts.
No. You have to listen to it.
I haven't listened to the whole thing.
No. The clips are fine, but actually listening to it is made for you. Like, it is the funniest ladies so far in the world. And Martin Short did it too. So it's not like just women.
I love Martin Short.
But it's so good. Of course they say some bad words, but like, it's different from Smartless, which is like kind of chaos. This is so much more just one-on-one conversation between comedians that they have inside stories. And like Martin Short talks about Gilda Radner. Like, it's really, really cool.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
It's my latest discovery.
Kristen loves funny podcasts too.
I do.
She has a whole list, and she's always, have you heard this? Have you heard this? Have you heard this? Like, she's got a good list.
I do not currently consistently listen to any podcast.
Wow.
I do. I have my one I listen to on Sunday morning when I get up. When I'm getting ready for church, I always listen to Craig Rochelle.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And then, Eric will come in, and he has kind of gotten into it because I'm listening to it in the bathroom.
Right.
And so he loved, one of my favorites is The Big Boo. And he comes in, he's like, those women are so funny.
What is it about? Like, what is that show about?
It is about nothing. It's these two women that just get together, and they've been longtime friends. And one lives in Alabama, one lives in San Antonio. They've both written books. They're both Christians, but they're hysterical. I mean, they're funny.
Right.
They like to read. They like clothes. they like all the same things I do. And so it's always fun to listen to.
And you have one of them coming.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Okay, tell us about this. The Big Boo.
Okay, so Melanie Schenkel is one of the cast members of The Big Boo, and she is going to be coming to our night of worship on September 7th. So
that's so exciting.
Wow. She's written a new book called Here Be Dragons that is fantastic.
Here Be Dragons.
She started writing it. It's a book about her daughter went through some hard girl drama when she was in high school, and so she started writing the book about that. And then as she dug into the book, she realized, the first mean girl in my life was my mother. And so it's a lot about growing up in with the hard mother. And so it's funny, but it is poignant, and it's really, really good. Setting up boundaries. I mean, it talks about a lot of hard things, but it's really, really funny too. She tells these crazy stories of things that happen in their life, and it's great.
I really want to read that.
Yeah. And so she's going to be doing our book club on May 14th. We're going to be
she's coming, or
no, we're reading her book. Okay. And so that's the book that we're reading for the book club. And then she will be coming on September 7th.
Oh. So we need to get her on the show.
Yes. We've
got to get her on the show.
When I
when it gets closer,
hired her, I said, could you come on to help promote? So
You know what, Justin, we should read that book with the book club.
We should write a book.
Both of us.
Oh, okay. We should read it.
Yeah.
We should read it.
It's quick. It's an easy read. So
Jennifer and I notoriously do not read books, so it will be a new thing for us.
I'm either reading or I'm not reading. With everything in my life, I'm either puzzling or not puzzling.
Right now, all in or all out.
I'm either all in to the point where it's ridiculous, or I'm out.
Like hyperfixation, or
I don't have really a great balance of things.
I listened to this book because she read it.
So
I listened to it.
So fun to listen to.
What is the mindset or the heart behind the night of worship? Because you didn't do it last year, you did it 2 years ago. Like, what is the standard? How does it work?
Well, we had COVID, and so we were not able to do table grace. And then we came back and we had table grace. And then the next year we were under construction.
Right.
And so we did night of worship at our Westview campus. And so when we came back and did table grace this past year, it's just, everyone was still tired from 2 years ago.
And also just life.
Yeah. And so I just thought, maybe table grace, maybe it would be it really worked out well to just alternate years. And so we'll have a night of worship. If we're not having table grace, we'll have a night of worship where we'll still bring in a great speaker.
Right.
It's just going to be something that you can come to.
Right.
Attend and not have to do anything for.
Yeah.
There are reasons why I really love that plan. And I've been to Table Grace so many times.
Which, if you don't know, Table Grace is a big, great women's event. Lots of visitors.
Oh, it's fantastic.
But it's elaborate decoration host of 100 tables that put in a lot of really great effort into the details.
It's a ton of tables. It's a ton of work for everyone involved.
Our
and what happens is,
it's a killer. Yeah.
What happens is when you're doing it every year, people grow weary. And then we try to pull in new people, or you try to get, and it's also, and I'll be really honest, it's a little intimidating to be able to put together a table, make sure you feel good about it. And then you're inviting people to come to the table. So what happens is you just end up leaning on a few people to do more and more tables while you get more people that are not overwhelmed or can't do it this year or tired this year. And then when you hold it back a year, then people are like, and it comes back, you're like,
in the first day.
I want to go.
Yeah.
We missed it. We missed it. And I'll do a
Yes.
table. I'm happy to do a table because now you've had that 2-year break and your husband's like, don't you dare do a table. I don't want to be picking all that stuff up.
Yes.
But I completely believe people love routine. They love to say, oh, Table Grace this year. But I think you keep it special that way.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yes.
And the night of worship is really cool.
Well, and we're putting our resources into the night of worship so that we can bring in a great speaker and we can have our worship team come in and really focus on worship. And it'll still be kind of the same experience, the fellowship and being together, and it'll be free. It's going to be great.
Let me just say, you're doing an incredible job as the women's ministry.
Thank you.
Right now, and what I love about this is the detail Kristen thinks in at these events of the specialness, whether it's the drinks, the treats, whatever, is so special and detailed. Sometimes if you're focused on that, you lose the deep discipleship. But where I love that Kristen's heart is the deep discipleship. Can you tell us about some of that's going on in the women's ministry?
Well, we last summer we did discipleship training and we had 20 women go through it. And so, a lot of these women are walking with women now, kind of, sharing, and, it's a trickle down, one, and then now they're at this point, they should be breaking off and the discipler should be discipling someone. And so that's what I'm seeing now. And it's such a sweet thing because I'm seeing women grow in their faith and in their boldness to be vulnerable to other women. So it's really been great.
I think we're going to have maybe a couple of those women on the show and talk to them about their experience.
Yes.
So I really love that. And the Bible studies. You've got such a nice array of Bible studies.
Well, and it has been, I think this is my 4th year in this job. And so I have some wonderful Bible study teachers and volunteers that are facilitating, grief share, divorce care. There's been so many women step up. Antonetta is leading our book club. She led a Bible study, and it's, I'm trying to bring women in to develop, so that we can have a good core base of volunteers, women who love Jesus, who have a heart for teaching. And, Kathy Magnus she does our night class. Miriam Bridgewater came and did, I think she was on your podcast. She did that Building a House of Prayer has been amazing. So I'm hoping that we can do that again in the evenings. Marianne, if you're listening, I'd really like for you to come do that in the evenings.
I love Marianne. We love having Marianne.
It's just nice to have like a stable full of thoroughbreds who are ready to come, teach at any time. How can we not? We have Miriam Bridgewater. We have Denise Glenn, who goes to our church. She has taught classes for us before. It's Jean Pennington. I know. Hers are all, and she is so faithful to do one in the spring, one in the fall, and then one in the summer. So she'll be doing one in the summer.
She does a wonderful job.
Yes.
So she's also in the you have a pray. I'm saying eat, pray, love, but it is knit, pray, crochet.
Oh yeah. Knit, pray, crochet. Yes.
is a popular group.
That would have been such a
that has been a hit. It's on Wednesday nights. Knit, Pray, Crochet is just they're wonderful.
What do they do? Like besides knit and crochet and pray?
We have a devotional. Have a devotional that we do.
Okay.
But that got out on a community board, and we have people from our community coming to that don't go to our church. And so,
do they knit while they have the devotion?
Yeah. Everyone's just sitting there knitting, and someone will read the devotional book.
Wow.
We have a book.
My goodness.
We have like a book that is for knitting. It all the devotional has to do with knitting terms.
Oh,
and,
how funny!
There's like 100 in there. I'm like, who could have thought of 100 devotionals on? So it's
on
good.
Knitting.
Yeah,
That's
it's awesome. Denise Steele leads that, and she is amazing.
That's so cool.
There's been so many great stories though out of divorce care and grief share, and those are not really fun things to offer. Those are not really like super fun offerings, but people come in and they're broken, but seeing the sweet relationships that are formed and the healing that's happening in those rooms it's been amazing. I mean, it's been a blessing for me to see. And they're both 12 weeks long. So those volunteers are really committed to the people in that group. And it's been good for them. It's been good for the people in the group. I mean, it's been really a sweet thing to see.
I love that we have that because when your life is devastated, to be in a group that's been through that, walk through that with you.
Right.
And you're not alone. I mean, and that's the base of it. You're not alone. Like, God's not abandoning you. The people in your life are not abandoning you. Like, I just love those groups.
And it's a great, there's some people in that group that are not from our church either that, I think you did some Facebook ads for us, and we had 3 women join Grief Share from those Facebook ads that are not part of our church.
Nice.
Oh, that's
and
fantastic.
So the gospel is being shared. I mean, they've shared the gospel with a couple of people in there that just came not knowing that it was a
church group.
Yeah. We had a Jewish lady show up to divorce care.
Wow.
And she's like, I don't think this is for me. I was like, well, she goes, all this praying, I don't know. I was like, well, we do pray to the same God,
Yeah.
Please stay.
Yeah.
Right.
So
we've got some updates for that whole God thing. Maybe if you consider some of these updates.
Well, and I do want to say my committee, I have a 16-member committee, and I'm pretty much a one-person operation. And if I didn't have them, I could not do it. I mean, of course I go in there.
You do have a pretty amazing group.
I do. And I go in there and poach the admins in the office too. So I'm always having to like make them stuff and do stuff
Somebody's
for
always
them.
cutting flowers.
Yes, it's so true.
They're so sweet to help me. Yes,
I even came all my way to the podcast. She had someone in the welcome area working on organizing books.
Yes. So,
I was like,
it's a team effort.
Yes, it is. And I mean, I could not do it without my women's ministry team. So. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's so good. I really encourage people to get involved, find a way, get a hold of Kristen, figure out where you could fit or walk with or talk to or connect with. You've been here for quite some time.
19 years.
And so
I just had my 19-year birthday.
Everyone. So if you're thinking, I need a mentor or I want to meet in a small group or I would love to talk to somebody that's been through this, Kristen knows so many people that have been in down all of these roads. And it's she's such a great person to talk with. So, man, we're just thankful for you and all of the ministry that you're doing.
I feel like it's been, the first couple of years I was on a learning curve on what these events look like and a little traumatized about getting up in front of everyone and share. I mean, I feel like when you have to get up and share the gospel in front of 500 women.
Right.
I don't want to mishandle the word of God. And it's very, it's stressful. So
it's stressful.
But I do feel like the Lord has been so sweet and every time it gets a little bit easier. So that's good.
Every time it does get a little bit easier.
Yes.
It's so true and so good.
Right.
Well, amen. All right. Well, this part of the show, we usually get our get to know you question.
And you have it.
I'm scared.
I think I know, right?
Can you get your app out? You have an app.
I could get the app out and look for some possible questions, but I haven't been using. I have used that recently. It's just past Easter on this show, so I can't really do
best Easter memory or whatever.
I can't really do that.
We got Mother's Day coming up.
We do have Mother's Day.
You can talk about Mother's Day. What are we doing for Mother's Day?
Mother's Day is on May
11th.
Mother's Day is May 11th, but the senior ladies lunch is May 8th.
Oh.
And so we call it the senior ladies lunch, but they have forced me to rename it to the legacy lunch because some of our 6-year-olds don't want to be considered senior adults. So So that is always a really fun. We have Lee Kohler coming to speak this time, and it's going to be it's going to be great.
Right.
But we usually have about 100 ladies come to that. It's always kind of a fun thing for our senior adults to have something special just for them before Mother's Day. And so Mother's Day is the next Sunday, May 11th, following the luncheon. And we will have photo booths. We're going to have a flower market and at all of our campuses. So it'll be really fun.
Yeah. And then this isn't your event, but May 9th and 10th, they're doing a mom-daughter in-town retreat. The student ministry is hosting a really cool opportunity for moms and daughters to have a guest speaker come in and speak specifically to them, kind of maybe touching on some of your book about mother relationships with daughters and that sort of thing.
Yes.
So if you want to be involved in any of this, cityrise.org/events is where you go for literally everything. But if you want to go specific, it's /women for women events, /students for student events, that sort of thing. But if you ever forget, just go to cityrise.org/events and you can learn about all the things on our calendar. It's there chronologically, so you may have to scroll down because we do a lot of stuff. But these are, especially Mother's Day weekend, it's like there's a lot of good opportunities for women of all ages and all seasons. You've got the legacy adults, and then you've got moms who have daughters at the home right now in student ministry. You can get involved. And then, of course, our Mother's Day services are honestly, after Easter, maybe the most well-attended service.
Right. I think it goes Easter, Christmas, and Mother's Day.
Yes.
All right. So the question today is, what is something about yourself that you hope never changes?
Do you have that already in your heart?
I think I'm going between two in my heart.
Okay.
I can go.
Oh,
go ahead.
There we go.
I hope that I never take myself too seriously. That I'm always able to laugh at myself and not get too caught up in being offended about, you know what I mean? Just being able to laugh at myself and.
Yeah.
Yes. That's good. I think that's really
Not
good.
take yourself too seriously. Do you ever take yourself too seriously?
No, I don't think I do. I think I get more speeches about
I
not.
think when you get older, it's easier to do that.
I think I get more speeches about not taking myself seriously. And I do think I always want to have this hunger to see the humor in everything. Like for me to be able to capture something that's funny. This week we were talking to one of our team members about COVID and Easter and how it's impacted us every year. And one year during COVID, we sent everybody packages. We're like, we'll send everybody an Easter egg thing in the mail. And then we made them all different weights. And then we had to put each of them on the weigher, hundreds. And then they ran out of weigher stickers. And then I had to go to the post office and they ran out of stickers. Like they ran out of postage stamps except for the 1 cent stamp. And we were just talking about and we were laughing so hard. And that ability to find the humor, I love that I feel like God gave that to me because I feel like it's been my whole life.
That's a gift. Yes.
I feel like that's a gift. And I think that I love that. And Andy has the same gift. So I think that something about our marriage is strong is that we eventually can laugh about most everything.
Are y'all just laughing all the time at your house?
No, I would like to say we were, but no.
Some days.
Some days we're laughing and yelling and screaming.
Yeah, that happens.
It's all good.
I am happiest when I'm creating something, and so I hope that. But sometimes creativity takes inspiration. It takes motivation, and I find myself losing that sometimes. Where I don't have the motivation to start a project. Not necessarily with work, because work has deadlines. You don't have a choice. But in my own personal life, I'm happiest when I'm creating, but I find myself getting lazy and tired sometimes, where I can't just get the thing going. And so I hope that that doesn't continue to go. This
sounds
motivation
like you're already losing
it. I know.
You need to come volunteer in the women's ministry. We're always making something,
and you hope you never lose that.
I hope it doesn't go away. I hope that this is only a season where I'm getting tired, but I hope that it continues to grow as I get older, because I think creativity is part of, what gives me the most enjoyment of life. If I've got something exciting.
I think my problem is I can start every creative endeavor. I cannot finish any one of them.
Yeah.
That's the other end of that. Well, that's really good. And Kristen, that's a wonderful answer. I love that. And thank you so much for being with us today.
Yes, it was all wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you guys for being with us today. We hope you've had an almost amazing time on the Almost Amazing Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Almost Amazing Podcast from the CityRise Network based in Houston, Texas. CityRise is a partnership of church campuses, nonprofits, and missionaries devoted to lifting our city and the world by generously giving the gospel of Jesus Christ. For more information or to find a church campus close to you in the Houston area, visit cityrise.org.